friends! Some of you kept on asking on Instagram and Facebook about my Hobonichi. I shared an unboxing video when it arrived 2 weeks ago, and I promised to share my not a review but my impression of it and my opinion about it along the way. So I want to do that real quick. Again, I'm in to the Hobonichi for 2 weeks now, and I basically use it, or only use it, for everyday journaling and sketching, so like a sketchbook. Okay, so that's the reason I bought it, or what I bought it for, because for planning I use my Midori and my Color Crush planners. So right from the beginning I knew that I would only use this for art's sake. So about the setup, there's not really much to show or to tell because again I'm only using it for like art, and I don't need much in here, like I don't know, cards or stuff. So I only kind of pimped it up a little bit to make it a little more personalized. So I have added a picture of one of my paintings here to the front. I just tucked in some of my paintings printouts here as well, and I have some like sticky note flags here, which I add to the pages, you know, when I'm behind like 1 or 2 days, so that I can just jot down what I want to sketch for that day. And then I'm just adding the sticky note flag to the according page, so when I go back I know what I want to sketch or want to journal about. Yeah, so that's all I've got in here. Cute little foxy paper clip, just because it's cute. And in the back I have my my Peerless watercolor palette, which unfortunately I made for my Midori, so that's why it doesn't have the perfect size for the Hobonichi. So I will just do a new one, or create a new one for my Hobonichi when I find the time, but for now I'm using this one, this watercolor palette. And in the back I just have this, this card, some note sheets, and some fun fonts I printed out that I want to use like for my lettering. I also want to kind of practice a little bit more of lettering in here, and those are just fonts that I really like, that I think are cute, so I just printed out the alphabet for reference when I need it. So that's what's in the back here. Okay, and yeah, I since I got it at the beginning of April, there of course are a lot of empty pages here. So I started, before I jumped right in with the current pages, I started you know, filling some of the empty pages in the beginning, just because I was not familiar with this paper, and I didn't want to mess up right away back here in the current days. So that's why I tried a little bit on the first pages, and I tried some pens and markers here, my different fountain pens, and some brush pens, brush markers, just because I wanted to test run them on the paper to see if they bleed through, if they shine through. Tried some gelatos, Faber-Castell gelatos on here, with water, or just blending it with my finger, fountain pens on top of the gelatos, my SIG calligraphy pen, another fountain pen with different sorts of inks, again just like testing to see what works on the paper, what doesn't work, so that I kind of have a little bit of a reference when I'm using the different media. Tried out the Tim Holtz Distress Stains on here, Neocolor 2, watercolor crayons, watercolor pencil, Faber-Castell watercolor pencil, and I was absolutely positive surprised, you know, because like the Tim Holtz Distress Stain, usually really bleeds through very easily, even through the paper I'm using in my Midori and even the thick paper. So I was super positive about how this paper handles meteor, especially like wet meteor, because there's a little bit of a shine through, but really no bleed through at all. The paper is super smooth, and the colors and the inks kind of stay on top of the paper. So I totally love it. And I can tell you already beforehand that for me the Hobonichi was worth every cent I paid for it, and I'm so glad, so happy I did order the original one with this lovely paper, and that I didn't went for like a Hobonichi, because I tried different papers and different notebooks, and I was never really satisfied, especially with this thin paper, because usually can't handle any meteor in a good way. So yeah, I tried some fountain pen, just kind of blending it with some water, also like super perfect. And the only thing, like this black STAS-on I use for stamping this image, this totally went through, so I know I won't use any black STAS-on or any STAS-on ink in here on my pages. So that's what those first pages are actually good for. The Prima chalk ink pads, which are nice on the pages, so I know I can use them with no problem. Okay, so I have some more pages here, and I think I just try different medias on here as I go along, or just fill them up with random sketches. Okay, so let's move to April 1st. Again, I know the month isn't complete yet, but I thought like 2 weeks in is a good good time frame to give you my like a first impression of this. So yeah, I got the Hobonichi on April 4th, and I just worked backwards like 3 days, so that I kind of have my start in here with April 1st. And usually I just do some sketching, filling it in and coloring it in with some watercolor, preferable my peerless watercolors, and then I just add a little bit of journaling about yeah, the most important part of the day, or the parts that I want to remember about that day. Yeah, and April 1st I sketched my Midori. Sketch my Midori in my Hobonichi. I prepared this little journal for my Listas Gotta List, or for the Listas Gotta List challenge, which I'm joining this month. So yeah, that's what I kind of captured on that page. I was filming some videos. Tuesday, April 2nd. We had a wedding. You know, I'm a wedding photographer, and we had an 8-hour wedding. So I kind of sketched that little church and the couple, bride and groom, and we had really bad April weather, you know, like changing every 5 minutes. We had hail, we had rain, we had sunshine, we had storm, we had everything, all within that 8 hours. So it was kind of you always had to kind of find a plan B. We had a firework in the evening. Yeah, Friday, April 3rd, we kind of relaxed a little bit and kind of, what do you see, say recreated? No, from the wedding. We just relaxed anyway. And we ordered some sushi, and I slept a lot, yeah. So that's what Friday the 3rd is about. The 4th, this is actually the day that my Hobonichi arrived. Kind of doesn't make sense in that, but I know that. So I kind of wrote on post from Japan, and then we had to pick it up at the customs. No, I didn't, that I had to pay the customs. Yeah, sketched my cute little Hobonichi. Yeah, and then was the Easter weekend, so sketched a little Easter nest with some Easter eggs here. That was Easter Sunday. Sketched a little chocolate Easter bunny, and we visited my parents or my mom. Yeah, that's kind of, we listened to some old, I don't know what it's called, you know, like 30 years ago. They had those, like not music tapes, but with those large things where you put one on the one on the other side, and then you can record and play it. I don't know what it's called in English. I have no idea. Anyway, an old 30-year-old, 40-year-old music machine. I think it was even well, not at the same time like those records. Yeah. So we found some of them on the on the attic, and we've been checking out those old tapes, and it was really cute. We spent like hours listening to those old tapes because of course there was a lot of music on there from my childhood days, which really brought back many memories. But also you know, back then you could record with those things, and I still remember when I was a little child, I really enjoyed you know, having this microphone and talking and singing. And yeah, we found those tapes from when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, that range, and I was singing my heart out. And I'm really surprised how many songs I knew back then. And it was so cute. We really enjoyed that a lot. And I actually recorded it with my iPhone, you know, from this thing, so I can put it on a CD to kind of preserve that. Yeah, so that was that day. Then we had Easter Monday, just sketched some phones with some messages sent and received, which had a meaning to me. And we visited my mom-in-law, and we had some nice fish and some wine. So that's what this is about. Then we have Tuesday the 7th, sketched a little red kitty cat and a phone and wrote at home, because 2 weeks ago when we had another wedding in Dresden, which is like 250 kilometers away from us, and we wanted to go home, we found a little red kitty cat at a parking place, which kind of must have been hit by a car, because like she couldn't really walk, you know, the back, her leg was kind of just hanging there, and she was very thin, but she was so, how do you say, she was not afraid or scared. She just came to us and she jumped into our car and she was like meowing at us. So I just couldn't, you know, just leave her there. So we called and called the animal shelter, but there was nobody answering the phone. And then we finally found an animal clinic, animal hospital, and we took her there. And yeah, and that day I called there to ask how the kitty is doing, and asked if maybe somebody was missing her and found her, and we got the news that they had made an operation, surgery, and yeah, Kitty was doing good, which was the most important thing for me. And yeah, she's back home. The owners, they kind of called her missing, and so that could be put back together. So that was, yeah, pretty cool. Like that makes me happy. Then we have April 8th. Just sketched a little girl crying, sad girl, because it was just, I don't know, one of those days. I'm sure you all can relate. There are days when you just kind of feel blah and sad, and you feel like crying the whole time, and it's just, you know, nothing goes right. It's just one of those days, I don't know, with no reason. So that's what I kind of just sketched there. April 9th. It was all about receiving a package, and it was a funny story. You know, we've been waiting at home for a package to be delivered, and we kind of have live tracking for this delivery service. so you can, you know, watch or track the package driver driving around in Google Maps, and you see your home is there and the driver is there, and you can see him, and it says like how many packages he has to deliver before he reaches your destination. So that's really fun. But what was not so fun is that we've been sitting there for like 2 hours. Of course I was like working, but always, you know, continually checking this live tracking thing. And then it said like 2 or 3 stations before he reaches us and delivers our package, the package that I was waiting for. But then all of a sudden it said that he couldn't like reach us, there was nobody home, and they will re-deliver it in like on the other day. So I was yeah, super frustrated about that, because the other day we weren't home and I knew that, so I would have had it on Monday. And again, we've been sitting there waiting, and there was nobody ringing the doorbell. There was no like notification card in our mailbox, nothing. I guess he just did some, I don't know, lunch and then just, you know, skipped a couple of households to deliver to, I don't know. So I was really frustrated about that, and I called the hotline and they couldn't help me, so we just jumped in our car and kind of drove to where the live tracking said he was seen last time. And we've been driving around, and then we found him, and then there was still, but that was another car, so it's a long story. But in the end I got my package in the evening delivered, because the guy we found kind of called the other one. And anyway, it's a long story, but it was super fun. So that was, well, fun, right, you know, that minute it wasn't fun, but now I can laugh about it. But it was definitely worth to go in my sketchbook. So Friday, April 10th, I met a fellow wedding photographer in my hometown, and we met and had some coffee. Then we met with my mom and we went to Teddy, which is a German like dollar store, euro store, and we had some fun there, because my mom, you know, she's cool. There were, you know, like large flowers and fun hats and fun glasses for like carnival lying there, and you know, I'm always kind of on the look or snapping pictures for my Project Life album. So yeah, we had some fun trying on some fun hats and glasses and stuff. So yeah, so that's what this is. Me and my mom. Yeah. Saturday, it was so beautiful weather. We first time hit the 20 degrees mark. Lots of sunshine, so we've spent some time outside on our balcony, had some wine, and yeah, this is the table on our balcony with our black cat Moppy, because he just loves to, I don't know, lie on the table. But out there it's okay for me. Yeah, so that's what this is about. And we booked a little vacation for May, just 3 days at the Baltic Ocean, but I'm really looking forward to that, because we're gonna meet with some friends there too. So we booked the vacation, and that's why I kind of sketched that too. Sunday, there was really nothing going on. Well, nothing. Really nothing worth. So I just, you know, whenever I have a day where there's not much to tell, I just sketch something that I kind of like, or that I want to sketch. So I sketched some beautiful spring tulips, because right now they are in full bloom in our garden, and that's what this sketch is about. Yeah, and Monday, which is yesterday, I yeah, made some pocket letters. That's what this sketch is about. And we started a new series, watching a new series on Amazon Prime, and we started watching Castle. Totally love it. You know, I'm all into like crime series like CSI and Special Victims Unit, stuff like that. And I've never before watched Castle, and a friend kind of suggested it to me because we just finished watching all 6 seasons of Gossip Girl. I kind of like to watch some series on Amazon Prime while I'm crafting and working. So yeah, I had to find a new series to watch, and we started Castle and totally love it. It's fun. I really like the characters and how they act together, and the humor in there. Love it. Okay, so yeah, that's it. This one's today. So I will see what I will do today. Just a short flip through of the pages I've done so far. And again, I'm totally in love with the paper. I never would have thought that, because usually I'm all for like high quality thick paper. You know, the thicker the better. I kind of always suggest to my students in my online art classes and to really use heavyweight, high quality watercolor paper, and I love that, to use that myself. But in this case, for a sketchbook like that, it is so, I don't know, it just feels different, and it kind of gives me the feeling that I'm allowed to play and allowed to make mistakes, and that not every page has to be a masterpiece. If I work on watercolor paper, I kind of always, I don't know, I kind of have the feeling that I have to create a masterpiece every time. I don't know why. But those pages, they kind of just make me want to play and have fun, and no matter the outcome. And yeah, and I really love how delicate they are, very thin, and I love that. Listen. I'm not sure if you can. The sound of the pages almost feels, or listens, yeah. It almost sounds and feels like, I don't know, those old books you find at flea markets with those pages that are, you know, almost falling apart already. I don't know, it just feels cool. I'm a paper nerd, and I'm a haptical, do you say that, person. I don't only like smell, you know, like the smell of books and paper, but also like the feel and the sound of it. So I totally love it, and I even love that the pages slightly turn wrinkly if you work on them with wet media. I don't know, maybe half a year ago that would have driven me nuts, you know, if paper like wrinkles, I was going crazy. But in here, I totally love it. I don't know why, don't know what it is, I just know that I totally love it. And I really love how the paper takes the color, and what the watercolor kind of does to the pages, giving them this, I don't know, this used look. Can't even describe it. You just have to feel it yourself. Yeah, so that's my first impression of the Hobonichi. Again, I'm really looking so much forward to fill the pages. If I would have to decide again for the size, I probably would go with the cousin size, which is like the double size, A5 size, next time, because I kind of like it. It's really cute and super handy to put in your handbag, so I love that. But you know, for days like this, when there's not much going on, or like here and there, that's okay. But if you have days like here, or when there's a lot happening and you want to kind of keep different things in here, you know, that were happening, it's already starting to get difficult to add some sketches and some journaling, and so that the sketches, I'm not really a person who likes to work on a very small scale, you know, usually I'm working on DIN A5 or DIN A4 size or even larger, so that's already a new thing for me to work on a very small scale like that, because I kind of always want to go to detail with the sketches, so I really have to learn to keep that very, very limited in detail in order not to, you know, mess it up for me. Yeah, so next time probably I would go with the A5 size. But for now I decided to just go on working in this because, yeah, actually the small pages, they are less intimidating. And it's okay, you know, usually I have like 1 or 2 things per day that I want to capture, that I want to sketch, and that's okay. So I will just use that for this year and maybe next time decide for an A5 size for next year. Depends, I will see. Yeah, so guess that was all I wanted to say. Again, if I'm on the go, I just take that with me and my Peerless watercolor palette and my super chunky Webster's Pages craft folio, which I have stuffed with all sorts of things. I'm not sure if you can see that. Actually, I don't need everything that's in there. Usually it would be okay if I have my aqua brush. That's my go-to aqua brush, and yeah, a pencil with an eraser, and I love my Stella pigment liner, the 0.05 bing bing bing, the 0.05 tip and the 0.2 tip. So those are the 2 that I'm using. Yeah, and just let me know how you liked a flip through like this. If you want to see more videos, you know, sharing my pages in the future, if that's something that you're interested in, or rather not, if you enjoyed it or not. And yeah, I might even share some process videos of doing my sketches in the future when I find the time. But for now I just wanted to share this quick review, share my opinion and share my joy, because I really love it. Love my cute little Hobonichi. Yeah, so guess that's it. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments below. And I have the feeling that I've forgotten something important. I don't know. No, I guess that's it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time. Bye bye.